Hello everyone! Welcome to The Bean, dialogues about B Corps in coffee.
Welcome, guys. It's a pleasure to have you here. Well, there are currently 105 certified B Corp companies that are related to coffee in the industry, but the dialogue between those companies is often quite distant. Well, the Bean event aims to create an open conversation amongst B Corp coffee businesses, sparking new ideas and even shortening distances between like-minded companies. The Bean is organized by the Terra Coffee, a coffee farm in Brazil, with the support from B Lab.
Our first panel today is called B Corps in Coffee, making a positive impact in different segments of the chain. And for that, we'll have the participation of DR Wakefield from the UK, Propeller Coffee Company from Canada, and Commons Company from the USA. Let's get started?
Yes, let's get started. But before we get started, there's a very important question that we should answer. What is the B Corp movement after all? Probably many of you that are following us right now don't know that, so we have invited our guest, Tomás de Lara, from Sistema B Brazil, which is the representative of B Corp in Brazil, and he's also part of Cities Can Be, and Tomás is going to clarify what is the B Corp movement about to us. Hi, Tomás. How are you? Thank you for being here today. Tomás, can you please clarify to us what is the B Corp movement about? Can you give us some insights here?
Yeah, sure. First, a pleasure to be here in this beautiful event. Coffee is a passion of mine, so I'm very pleased to be sharing also my passion from the B movement, which I've been 8 years now with you also, which are producers and are all on the value chain of coffee and sustainable coffee. So yeah, let me share with you a little bit my vision and all of my experience with the B Corps movement. And I will be sharing here a brief presentation. I hope you all can see. So I always like to start with this image, which is our planet Earth, where we share our common home, right? Where we can see everything beautiful, shining. And this image, which is a real image, is the result of life, right? We can see life blooming and is the result of 4.8 billion years of evolution. So it's all connected, all interdependent, all depend of one another. One living being, earth, soil, air, atmosphere, and everything. When you can see here in the second image, also an image from NASA, you can see this very beautiful green line. It's called the Kármán line. And this Kármán line, around 100 kilometers from our Earth, from our surface, is the line that protects our biosphere. So our biosphere, where life is held, is sustained, is protected with this very thin layer, which holds everything we know and we say about life. It's here. So we share this common place, this common house, and it's all made out of this huge and very, very ancient collaboration between all the living systems and living beings in our planet. When we take a look closer, well, this is a photo of a jungle, a rainforest jungle in Brazil. So we can see this big interaction, the interdependence of different lives and the blooming of the green, which sustain also our air and everything. So I would like to bring a vision from a physicist, very well known, which is Fritjof Capra. And he has this sentence about our world and about biology. Boundaries in the biological realm are not boundaries of separation, but boundaries of identity, which are not separated, but in constant interaction with the environment. So again, we are not separated, but we are in constant interaction, and our identities, they vary, but again, they only become living in the interaction. We need one another. We need living systems. We need air. We need clean water. We need the forest. We need to take care and to sustain the inherent capacity of life to sustain life. So again, nature, planet Earth, teaches interdependence and adaptation, right? It's not the survival of the fittest, but it's the survival of the fit. the one who fits the system, the one who can live and sustain life in its environment. So when we take a look at our moment, we have a very large crisis, being social and environmental crisis. We have deforestation. Amazon lost 70% of its area in the last 15 years. We have climate migration. According to the World Bank, more than 143 million people will be migrating, forced migrating, right, by 2015. We have extreme weather events all over the world and generating a loss of $7.9 trillion till 2015. That's the estimates. And still, we have a very unequal world. The richest 26 people own as much wealth as 3.8 billion people, basically half of the population. This is data from Oxfam, 2020. So yes, we can still see lots of poverty, and our economical system cannot tackle the poverty. It has, of course, brought a lot of people out of poverty, but still we have concentration, inequality, and this is a major issue for all of us. So when we think about our economic model, right, we stop a moment to reflect about it, because we created it. We are sustaining our economic model. Well, basically, our economic model is based on infinite growth paradigm on a planet of finite resources. So basically, it will not sustain itself. This is a mathematical, logical equation that it doesn't end up good. So we really have to rethink our economical model. And we have also the problem that our resources are being degraded, because life regenerates life. Our planet regenerates ecosystems, and it sustains life. But we, with our industrial evolution, we started to bring toxicity to the production models, and we started to degrade land, degrade oceans, and degrade the quality of our air, which of course impacts negatively all of us. So the good thing is that we have good things coming. We have awakened to this problem, and it is not something now parallel. This is mainstream. Everybody is talking about it. Financial Times talking about resetting capitalism. The Economist talking about the climate issue. The Business Roundtable, which more than 150 large corporations of United States are talking about stakeholder capitalism and bringing purpose into the core of our businesses. We can see Time magazine talking about climate as an issue. So yeah, things are changing, and we all have to work to change into a better economical system. So my reason to be here is to share a little bit about the history and about the B Corps movement, which started in 2006 in USA. It came to Latin America in 2012. So we are present in 13 different countries in Latin America, and we have offices basically all over the world, in all continents. We have 29 offices in 29 different countries operating our B Corps movement and spreading the practice of business as a force for good. So basically, when we talk about business as a force for good, we talk also about certification. You all know about fair trade, organic certification. We need certification to certify that companies are really doing good social and environmental practices. So we have a certification, and we call it a community of B Corps. It's a community that is already in 74 countries, more than 4,000 certified B Corps, around 150 different industries, so all sectors you can imagine, with one unifying goal, which is to use business as a force for good. So this is our logo for English, Certified B Corporation, and in Spanish and Portuguese, Empresa B Certificada. We all use the same logo globally. So how do we measure success? We measure success with this B Impact Assessment, which is a self-evaluating tool. It's online, it's for free. Any company in any part of the world, from any sector and any size, can use it. this online tool, we measure it on workers, governance, community, environment, and the benefit that our companies bring to the customers. So the B is for benefit, and we believe that companies must generate benefits, social and environmental benefits for society, and of course, then profit. But profit without social and environmental commitment, it's no good. It doesn't sustain itself, right? So yes, we do measure success with also the measure of success being social and environmental, and of course, economical. I'm going to share a little bit about some B Corps that I admire and are really leading the movement and inspiring their own industries. And one of those is Patagonia. Of course, you might have heard about Patagonia. They have been doing amazing work on sustainability for more than 25 years now. They have done this amazing campaign, Don't Buy This Jacket. And it was not a greenwashing campaign. It was a campaign deeply founded on rethinking how we consume. And they brought all of the ideas of the circular economy about reducing consumerism, repairing the clothes you have, reuse whenever you can, and recycle as a last resort. So this Reimagine campaign on consumerism and fashion industry was a historical campaign, and it's not just greenwashing or marketeering, right? This was something founded on good practices. They built a worn-wear platform to resell their clothes, so you can resell your clothes and you can really foster circular economy practices. So they're really committed to it. And other brand you might have heard or have eaten, it's Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's also is one of the founding B Corps, and it has many, many different very good practices. It was one of the first companies to have a director of activism, and Ben & Jerry's is committed to different social movements like Black Lives Matter or the LGBTQIA movement for freedom of expression, sexual orientation, and different issues. So it is not only ice cream, it is a comfort food and also a force for good. So they are, this is Ben & Jerry's. They were involved with the Occupy movement, saying that the inequity on USA was immoral. So that's why they were protesting together with people. So yeah, they are an activist company. Guayaquil, it's another interesting B Corp that has a regenerative business model. They regenerate land, and they have doing this with different stakeholders. And this is a photo that I've been with them in the south of Brazil, in Paraná, where we were talking with indigenous people that were producing yerba mate, right? And it's organic yerba mate, and it's the way where the Guarani, which is the original people from Paraguay, also Uruguay, and in Argentina and Brazil, we have Guarani people, they produce for millennia yerba mate. And Guayaquil was learning how to produce yerba mate in a sustainable way that the original people, the indigenous people, was doing. So this is a conversation with different stakeholders. The mayor of the city was on this conversation. Indigenous people that didn't speak Portuguese were there sharing their experience. The CEO of Guayaquil was there. So this was a very beautiful meeting of 2 days meeting of sharing experience. And this is not regeneration of land, it's regeneration of social tissue, because we have conflicts, we have separations sometimes, and to regenerate our bondness, our community is also important. We have companies like the Chilean company Carun, which makes eyewear based on circular economic practices. They use discarded fishing nets to produce a new type of eyewear, and they used they put the campaign to fundraise this project in another B Corp, which is the biggest crowdfunding platform in the world, Kickstarter, also a B Corp, and it's from New York. So you see lots of B Corp helping each other. They raised more than $180,000 to fund the experimentation of this eyewear, and now it's on their business model, and it's based on circular economy. We have Natura and Company, which is a major cosmetic brand, very deeply rooted on sustainability. It was the first publicly traded B Corp. So yeah, basically we have so many different businesses around the world, as I said, 4,000 B Corps from all different sectors, using business as a force for good. We have the good news that all of us now, we have the inspiration of the Sustainable Development Goals, right? Which is basically a common global language for sustainable development. And our B Corps movement made a partnership with United Nations Global Compact, which is the branch, the arm of the United Nations that works with companies and the SDG. And we built together the SDG Action Manager. It's an online tool, also accessible and free tool any company can use to track their progress and to align their actions with the SDGs, right? So basically, to end up my brief presentation, I would like to bring a sentence, a poem by the Chief Seattle, indigenous from North America, between 1850s. He wrote this, which is very inspiring and talks about interdependence. This we know, all things are connected like the blood which unites one family. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the son and daughters of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. So basically, that's it. That is my brief presentation. I hope you have a very beautiful event. It's a very big pleasure, and I'll be here with you. A big hug from Brazil. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much, Tomás. It's always great to hear from the B Corp movement, always so inspiring. It's always nice to be reminded that we can either choose to be part of the problem or part of the solution.